Back to Locali Kitchen. We're going to do another new dish today from our autumn menu, and it's a dish which we tend to keep on a lot. It's a real favourite of Rio's. It's an octopus dish. Where he comes from in Puglia, it's very traditional to have octopus. They love it. It's a big part of their life, and they love to go out fishing and catching it, of course. We get our octopus from Fremantle, which is probably where most of Australia's octopus is coming from now, and we're sort of moving away from baby octopus and we're using a much larger octopus. It's just where we're heading. I think for what we're doing, we're cooking it twice and barbecuing it. It just works better to use this style of octopus. So as you can see, the tentacles are quite large. We cook them twice purely to tenderise the octopus. So what we're going to do today is just put a little bit of garlic oil on there. This has been in the oven at 65 degrees on steam in a bag for 5 hours. Okay, so we get it straight onto our hot plate, barbecue plate, and we want to get some nice caramelisation happening there. It's all part of it. The other thing we're going to do is we're just going to saute a little bit of cavolo nero. Cavolo nero is basically what the Italians call black cabbage. So it's like a version of cabbage. It's just a bit nuttier, a bit more interesting, and it's more designed to blanch and then saute. You don't traditionally eat it raw. It's not the sort of thing you want to eat raw. You can see our octopus here is looking good. Okay, so you don't want to move it too much first. Get a bit of colour, then we'll flip it over. We get our cavolo nero straight in. And just use a nice little non-stick pan, just with a bit of garlic oil, just with a bit of salt. Now the other components of this dish we're using today is we've made a lovely chickpea puree. Chickpeas and octopus go very well together, and we've kept some of our chickpeas and we've fried them to give them sort of a crispy texture, just to add another dimension to the dish. So we're going to get this organised. We put the puree down on the plate, and then we just smear it across. Now this cavolo nero, as you can see, all you got to do is heat it up. It's already blanched, so we're just seasoning it with a little bit of garlic oil. We're not going to use all of that, it's a little bit too much there. Just lay that on top. Come and have a look at this octopus now. It's getting really nice colour, and this is what we want. We want to get some caramelisation happening a little bit, makes it a little bit crispy, gives it that smoky flavour as well, which is what we're after. It's about 100 grams what we're using for an entree. Just a little bit of extra chickpea around the edge. Get some of our crispy chickpeas. This just gives it, we're also adding some nduja crumb at the end. It's good to have a little bit of crunch added to this dish as well. Okay, so we can literally plate it up now, it's ready. It doesn't take long. 3 beautiful pieces there on top. Now we're just going to add a couple of fresh lemon segments. We want a nice bit of acid with this. We also add just a little bit of white balsamic and olive oil, just a little bit of dressing. Just you can see how that just shines it up. A little bit of herb oil. Now this is lovely. Nduja crumb. Nduja is like a spicy salumi paste. We mix it with pangratata and just get that on top. Gives it a fantastic sort of crunchy texture, which is what we're after. And we just sort of garnish with, from Maravista Farm, some beautiful red vein sorrel. So there's our octopus with chickpeas, cavolo nero and nduja crumb.